get a little bit of a rejection here, you think? Or are they going to keep propping this bid? This is a low volume node on the composite. Let's take a look. We probably might have a little higher to go. Maybe 914. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Very key level here. Look at the composite. Right here. And we're trading above it. All right, so now we could easily go to 950. If we hold, don't reject. See if we trade back beneath it. We're starting to, we're trading right in the middle of it. I'd say we're below it, but there's another kind of bid prop. If we go back to, let's say, I guess 850 is going to be the line in the sand, I would say, for the most part here. So let's draw that out. 850, which is, it's kind of this zone, right? Between this LVN and weekly VWAP. Right? We start trading below that, we could get a bigger rejection. Okay, weekly VWAP. Does it break this? Holding so far. I would say this is probably the last place to long back until 800 if anybody wants to try a long. I'll take one. This would be the spot. It's got to hold here. I would say this is the last. If it breaks below 830, that's it. Shorts. I'm going short. All right, shorts it is. Well, we're kind of hanging at 830 here. Ba-boom. Ba-boom. So that was a good 12-pointer from 30 to 20. Nice, Ray. So I don't like this as a price discovery continuation long because that was a higher time frame rejection. So you can try it. I don't love it. It's not a bad location in terms of rhythm. I'll take one. See if we get a little bounce here. Seems weak. Yeah, this thing's bleeding out. There it is. They'll have one from 80. It's 20 points right there. I was also New York, pretty close to a New York VWAP bounce. I mean, within what, 5 points? Not even. Yeah, 5 points of the VWAP. Nice bounce. New York VWAP bounce right there. Big rotations. I mean, that was a 1, 2, 3, 4 minute rotation of how much? 115 112 point rotation right there, guys. 112 points in 4 minutes. There is money to be made, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Sebastian. Very happy for you. I'm very proud. That's all right. I started with 25Ks, Sebastian. I've taken payouts on 10 25Ks. Right? That's some good money. That was a $15,000 payout. I should say 10 PAs, not XFAs. All right, back to the LVN. Job, Jimmy. That was a nice trade. We're getting good trades today, guys. Good price action, reliable levels, pretty good read. The zones are a little wide because of the volatility. Just stay sharp. Don't get scared out of your good positions. I mean, we pretty much called long, continuation long. We called short up here. You know, it did go above it by like 20 points, so that's hard, but it worked out. And then we called long pretty much upper band, point of control area, and New York VWAP. So our calls have been pretty good so far. Oh, there's really nice volatility. So when you're right, you know, with one mini or two minis, you can, the profits rack up really fast with this type of volatility. Also, one loss can hurt. I've just been on it so far this morning. Nice way to end a Friday. All right, let's see if it breaks through. Delta is still pushing higher. We appear to have a bit of a divergence again up here, guys, but it seems to be pushing higher. It's trying. They're supporting the bid. The bid is being supported. Somebody wants it through this price level. And then there's somebody who does not. Who wins? 15 minutes can go bad real quick. Real quick. I mean, even 5, 4, 3 is really kind of pushing the envelope. I'm 1 or 2 is kind of my comfort zone. Okay. Rejecting again. There was a divergence. Let's take a look at the delta again here. So for those of you that are still learning the delta, what do we see here? I'm going to So if you see, right, price, actually let's do a thin line. Price, delta. See that? That's a divergence. That is a bearish absorption, correct. Passive sellers were absorbing, so all of the market buyers right here that were hitting the ask, they were absorbed by a passive seller, absorbing the aggressive buy orders. See, so a bearish absorption is generally a bearish signal. Right? If there's a big passive seller absorbing the buying, we can expect a temporary retracement back down or a rejection. Nice, JP. It's all right. It's okay. I like that it hurts your brain a little. You're a smart gal. I have no doubt about that. If you handed me a computer and told me to drill for oil, that would hurt my brain. And I would freak out. How much do I trade? I trade a lot. I trade every day. Sometimes twice a day. And that's just live. I do trading behind the scenes, guys. I have stocks and options. Let's see what we get next. We're kind of stuck in it's an interesting profile. There's really no significant volume nodes that are that obvious at this point. So we're gonna have to really wait for more information. It looks more like an uptrending profile. Like we probably have more upside, I would imagine. There's just not enough volume here to get me to think that we're gonna stay here. There it goes. See if it can keep going. I venture it will. I think we're starting to get a little more, we got a, confirmation here. If we keep going, let's see. We'll have an IB in about 12 minutes. We'll go from there. We have a little lighter crowd today. People taking Friday off from trading, I guess. We usually have well into the hundreds, and there's only 89 on the stream today. Oh, is today a holiday? Is today something? They are missing out on a strong finish. There it goes. Who would have thought? We'll keep going. No holiday. We're doing quite well, Daniel. How are you doing? Well, long bias is panning out. Allie, the system works. The system works quite well. It comes down to execution and trade management. Once you learn the system, it's all about discipline and consistency and trade execution and management. The system gives us the setups. Ryan, I've taken a bunch of trades. I'm actually pretty much close to finished at this point. But I'll stick around for another hour and watch the markets and call the structure and trades. I did about $500 in my cash account, over $1,000 in my funded account, 700 in another funded account. I've just been tearing it up today. Nice, Josh. Excellent job. That's good. Good, Daniel. We are getting close to that monthly VWAP. See what else we have on the composite here. So we have a big low volume node at 70 to 80. So let's make sure that's marked out. 70 to 80. Well, would you look at this? It's pretty much right above monthly VWAP. It's right here. It's about here. Nestled right between weekly upper band and monthly VWAP. So that is an A+ zone, fellas. Let's see what we get. Here it comes. Get ready. Another little push. Come on. I'll take a starter here. Starter at 56. It's just such a strong zone. We can't be the only people watching it. People are probably starting to get positioned now. Here it goes. It's 10 points right there, 15 points. Oh, 20 points. Ba-boom. What a beauty. Dang. 40 points right there. Still going. 50 points. What was the zone? I went over the zone. Monthly VWAP, weekly upper band, and a huge LVN on the profile, on the composite profile. Look at that thing. Good job, everybody. Yeah, I took 20, a little over 20, JP. I'm always happy with that. It's not a monthly composite. It's just the composite. There's no, we take the relevant range on the composite. There's no like weekly, monthly. So I kind of ran it back to September 27th. There's more. There's more relevant range. I didn't even grab all of it. Let's see what it looks like if I pull it back even more. I'm sure it's just as good. Let's go back to September 17th. Yeah, it's still, look at that. Look at that thing. Look at that. You're going to want to look, Byron, at the lower time frames with the toolkit. I go over this quite a bit. What happens with TradingView as you bounce around in your time frames, TradingView aggregates data. So the higher time frames you go, you're going to get different calculations because it's combining price levels. So you're going to want to look at your levels on the lower time frame. Yes, even with the regular TradingView VWAP, you'll see discrepancy as you bounce around time frames. So lower time frames are better. You'll get more definition because it's not aggregating all the data for the higher time frame. Now there will be times where you need to do higher time frames, like on the composite and stuff. But when we're talking about intraday levels, you want to use your lower time frames. So it is. It's not a VWAP problem. It's a trading view problem, Byron. It's not. I mean, theoretically, yes, the VWAP shouldn't change. But what you're experiencing is not. It's the aggregation of data in trading view. That's the problem. It's not VWAP calculation actually changing from time frame to time frame. It should be the same on all time frames, but it's not because of how TradingView aggregates data, if that makes sense. Just focus on the lower time frames on the intraday chart. That'll solve all your problems. Between the 1 minute, the 2 minute, even the 3 minute, they should all be within like a point or two. Just a couple of ticks. Once you start bouncing to 5, 15, 30 minute, you're going to get too much of a discrepancy. Nice, Frank. And that was a hell of a short. Very volatile. What's the VIX at? VIX is at 23. Elevated VIX. Love it. Gold's finally selling off. JP, you getting this? Here's your short. Today is the day to short gold. Yeah, I would highly recommend not trading on TradingView. Terrible idea. You couldn't get any more retail than that. Trading on TradingView. I guess Robinhood. You can execute on Robinhood. That would be pretty retail. Wait 30 seconds for your order to fill. Nice, JP. This was our big short. Probably not as big as gold, but this played off nicely. I front ran it because I loved the zone. I was going to add into it.
Voice use disconnected.
So Trump was asked this morning if we'd keep the tariffs on China, and he said no. Huh. Taco trade back on. Yeah, I'm quite green today, JJ. Quite green. I'll do a little recap here. So, this is my top one. Locked out. $9.99. And this week we've done $3,200 in this account. 75% win rate. A little bigger, a little inverse risk to reward there. Took a big loss in this account. That skewed my numbers a little bit, but bounced back from it pretty quickly. So that's that account. I just started trading that 3 days ago.
Don't trade buys in a virus if you won't see manufacturing jobs until capacity gets built.
So this is my cash account, live account. I've been keeping 5K in here. Did 3K. Well, I guess $3,000 in profits this week in a $5,000 account. That's a good time right there. Today, $542. Apex, I requested a $500 payout. I'm actually expecting it to be denied. I did that on purpose. I took a big loss on Tuesday in that account. I didn't blow it, but they'll probably say I violated the 30% bullshit rule. So I kind of want them to deny me, so now I can work on the next actual $2,000 payout again. Yeah, exactly, Frank. It's stupid. The whole thing is stupid, but whatever. I have the account. I've traded it. I'm like up on 30 trading days in it now. That's my third requested payout in that account. Pretty much, except without removing any money, Michael. So it resets the stats. Now I just have to trade well for the next payout, essentially.
Trade buys in a virus we don't see tariffs.
Can't violate any rules for the next payout. So 8 more trading days, no rule violations. Yeah, it's kind of like a game, unfortunately, with them. It's like a big game. So we are starting to build a little bit of a distribution here. It's still quite meek comparatively. The Dow and the Russell have built more of a distribution up here. Yeah, exactly. They don't subtract the money. I just have to work. I have to trade another 8 days and request again. And then you need 5 of those 8 days need to be $50 or more in profit. And then I just passed this Top Step Combine yesterday, and I traded it on stream last night. This is the Asia session. And I was trading NQ. I did pretty well on that as well. So I did 759. This is my first day in this account. So traded really well last night on stream. For anybody who caught that, I had some really good reads for the most part. And then this is just a account I've been playing with. Monthly VWAP, LVN, and weekly upper band. Second standard deviation is never factored into a confluence level. That's just to get a read on strength. So it's an LVN off the composite, monthly VWAP, weekly upper band. A plus setup. 3 confluences is an A. Any one of those is a higher time frame level. It's a plus. All 3 of these are higher time frame levels, so it's actually A plus plus plus. Nice, Scott. I don't know if you said it today, Scott. I'll never get tired of hearing it. So thank you, Scott. Appreciate you. Yeah, Jimmy, it's, you know, a lot of work, but I know I can trade well, right? So I can't get, do I make mistakes? Yes, I'm imperfect. I even make some really boneheaded mistakes and I get angry at myself, but I know I'm fully capable of doing this job. So I just know I need to show up the next day and do what I know to do. And once you get to that level of confidence in yourself, it's not ego. It's not overconfidence. It's just knowing I have the ability to do well, right? So I can't let one stupid mistake or one boneheaded move have me change. I know what already works. So most what we see most, here we go. We're starting to sell off now. We got an LVN down at 800 again. So I expect us to go down at 800. I'd be shocked if we didn't go down to 800 from here. Well, we do have a bit of a volume shelf at 17, so let's give it 20 points from here. Ooh, dog. Why didn't? Because, well, the volume was, we had an LVN that we just cracked right here. We're trading below it. We have a point of control literally at the upper band. Right, so there's a lot going on here that I don't like. And the delta is going straight down. We're actually at the low on the delta. Trader B4C. Delta's still going straight down. So we could get a bounce down here. This would be better than the upper band price level for people that were watching that. But we also are trading below weekly VWAP. So this is kind of a cluster fudge of an area right here. No, this is top one. This is actually just a practice account at this point. I'm done trading for the most part. I don't have any accounts left to trade. Unless I got a new account, I'm locked out of everything at this point. So if we bounce here, we can get another rotation up. If we crack this, this could be back down to monthly monthly lower band. So I would say this 800, these low 800s are a real inflection level, particularly 805, right where this LVN is. Right here. If we crack this, so I see that as the line in the sand. Actually, we might even get this. So here, like that, or no, this. Then I guess last case scenario would be here it goes. That could have been it. Don't get me started, Frank. Don't get me started. It's Friday. Been having a good day. There it goes. Cracked. Down we go. Next stop, 750. All right, so I'll take these other, maybe we get something like this now. I could also see something like that. Yeah, I don't know. The long case, buyers did step in here. Some decent buying. So this could be an interesting rotation up. How big of a rotation up is this going to be? Will it get smooshed? Hey, Tony. Man, I finished really early today. That's generally what price does. It takes the most convoluted, meandering route to where it's going. Careful, Frank. Careful. Good thing Ray's not paying attention. She'd come after you. Oh. Well, stores, Frank, now have husband chairs. I don't know if you've ever been into these women's stores, but they have these chairs set up nicely for the husbands to sit down in and go on their phones and look at sports and play some sports bets while their wife spends money. Yeah, oh yeah. I have traded from the chair. 100. I've actually traded from the dressing room. I'm not proud of it, but I have. All right, so okay. We kind of so there's the up rotation. Back down, lower, or do we find support here and then back up? The chart is very, very messy. I'm going to clean this up a little bit here. A little better. So now look how wide this area is. So this is monthly. This happened last night on stream too. So we have monthly lower band, weekly lower band, and Globex VWAP in this big old zone right here. Even IB low as well. The problem with this is that this is a 78 point zone, 312 ticks, right? Which level is the level? I don't know. How do I manage risk in that scenario? Well, you either start with very small size. If you already trade small size, this is going to be very difficult for you to trade. Hey, Roadrunner, ain't no shame in that. Shut it down. Awesome, Carlos. Good work, man. Have a great weekend. It's a good RTV trade. Jimmy, that t-shirt looks so cool. Love it. Pit jersey. I'm going to buy more for myself. Absolutely, Rory. Let's take a look at gold. I feel like we already bounced. Yeah, I like 4200s. I mean, either bounces or it doesn't, you know. This is also a weekly VWAP. So yeah, I really like that level actually. So this is a B++. Almost an A. If you combine it with this level, it's an A, but that's kind of far. Yeah, I like that level a lot. You might have missed the trade already though. Might have been front ran pretty hard. Might go up from here. Yeah, that was a great grinder. Just like the respect of the lower band on NQ on last Friday. That was fuego. So now we're stuck between two LVNs and weekly VWAP. So chop area. Point of control, VWAP, weekly VWAP, upper band. This is a cluster right here. So we need to see this, or we need to see this. Otherwise, it's a value area. Good night, Brendan. Thanks for joining us. Great to have you on the stream today. Brendan joining us all the way from Australia. He's staying up super late to join us for the New York session. Thanks, Michael. 3:50 in the morning. Hey, I almost wake up at 5, so it's not all that early, I guess. It's pretty early. Are you from the 9:30 open, JP? Also, you got to go down to the 1 minute for the most detail. If you're on a higher time frame than me, again, TradingView aggregates data and you're going to get different levels. So same problem. You're going to want to use the lower time frames with the session volume profile, the VWAP, pretty much everything with TradingView. That's a constant problem. Now, TradingView has my point of control up at 900. There's an order on TradingView, a huge one at 900 that TradingView doesn't even have. Do I think it's going to daily VWAP? I don't know. I think we're going to stay in here, and then it's going to break one way or the other, and I trade if this, then that. So I couldn't tell you which way it's going to go. If I knew that, I would load up with 50 minis if I thought it was going to go down to the... I have no idea. We're stuck in a distribution here. Right? We got value area high, value area low, right? We're in balance if you understand the system, right? So we need to accept to one side or the other. So this is coin flip odds right here. Coin flip odds. If you're trading right in here, especially in the middle, right, at 36, you have a 50% shot at best. Now that's still pretty good odds, but what tends to happen is you'll liquidate before it moves in the actual way. You'll probably take a stop loss, knowing how people usually trade. Now, the fact that we're holding under weekly VWAP and upper band, if I had to pick, I would say short. If you were forced, if you held a gun to my head and you said, which way is it going? I'd go, it's going down, it's going down. But right now we're in balance. And we've been in balance for the last 20 minutes, by the way. So I got to work on a long video for this weekend. Does anybody have any suggestions on a video tutorial I can work on? I don't know. I feel like we could go sideways, actually, the rest of this session. I feel like we can keep this initial balance. Oof. A lot of good suggestions. Dang. Letting winners run. You're going to need a lot more than a video for that, Logger. Profit targets. You cover the volume profile 80% rule. It's 68%. I have one of those MedX. I have a workspace set up. Video. Routine or taxes. Oh, a lot of good suggestions. So, Dolphins based on a normal distribution in statistics. All right, so I'm sure you're familiar with the bell curve. Right, in statistics, this is 68%.
Special operation forces say that Ukraine Russia's oil depot in occupied Crimea.
Thank you, Jimmy. Down it goes. So this is value area low. Coming down to VWAP. Feel like it would be a good VWAP bounce. We have this whole big zone though. Hard to say. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the composite. Yeah, what am I at currently? I'm at 20. I'm at 20. Are you on the 1 minute? Got to be on the. You got to be on the same time frame too. And then if you ever have questions, you can render it and then go back and actually look at it. Here it is right here. Got one right here. Got one here. Nice, Donald. Shut it down. Come back fresh on Monday. Allie, I hate to break it to you, but we're probably all unhealthily obsessed with trading. That's kind of what traders are. The longer you do it and the better you get, the less unhealthy it becomes, right? I did do quite well today, Danny. I did. The more you practice and the more you focus on good trading, the less degenerate you become. You know, I used to wake up, place trades on my phone. You know, I used to do I don't do any of that stuff for the most part anymore. I only trade when I'm sitting at the computer. I have my 2 hours a day. Am I always looking at stuff? Yes. But I have very strict rules about when and where I trade. And then it's all about showing up and consistently executing. Thank you, Jay. This is this volume profile is anchored to the market open at 9:30 Eastern time, but that doesn't mean I don't look at the composite and the session profiles. I do. I watch all of it. I want to have the big picture, the little picture. These are the monthly and weekly VWAPs. This is my higher time frames, right? So I could get a good idea of what's going on. Big picture. And this is my intraday execution chart. Many of those higher time frame levels are marked out on this chart, which is why it can get so busy. But it is what it is. That's how I trade. I want to know all the big levels so I can trade off of them. And would you look at that? We came off of monthly lower band to the tick. Top of this red box. Yeah, there's got to be some type of rules in place. Otherwise, you know, it just gets out of control. So, you know, I have confined trading hours, very strict rules for when I shut it down, specific profit targets, move on, next, come back tomorrow. Well, Azraski, that's actually, you're probably in better shape than most, actually. There are plenty of traders that have been trading a lot longer than that haven't gotten a payout yet. All right, so a couple of announcements. Sunday we'll have Q&A. Q&A in the premium Discord. That's Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time. Okay, that's in the premium Discord. If you want to get a free trial, you can attend with a free trial. That's in the Discord. There's a link for that. I announced yesterday that I will be speaking at the Futures Boot Camp in Tampa, Florida. It's going to be awesome. A couple of people already picked up their tickets. So supposedly we can fit 100 people in this event, and there's 20 tickets have been sold already. So there's 80 tickets left. It's going to be... That's this event here. It's going to be May 14th and 15th in Tampa, Florida. There's me. And I think it's going to be big time this year. We have some very exciting keynote speakers that will potentially be speaking at this event. They have already tentatively no, I'm not running this event. I was invited to speak. But as far as the room they have, it's limited to 100 people in this actual conference room. You know, maybe they shove 120 in there. I don't know. Yes, so that was supposed to be today, Ali. Obviously, they moved me. So it's going to be Wednesday. I'm going to be on Prop Firm Match TV. So that's going to be my usual.
Well, we just need one more sweep down.
So that's going to be here. This is Zach, if anybody knows this guy. He's actually going to be he's going to be at the Futures Boot Camp too. Zach Anthony. Zarb. Yep. So he's running this show now on Prop Firm Match, their YouTube. Luna was also in California. For anybody who was out in California with me, we met Luna. He has his own farm in Costa Rica. And he grows his own food and he trades for a living. Yeah, we sat next to him. Exactly, Sonny. Yep. He is an interesting guy, that's for sure. What else? I think that's all I got for now. Yeah, so it's going to be a 2-day event, DPS. There's going to be a lot of strategy. There's two of the main topics are going to be VWAP strategies and systems. And another big topic is going to be prop firms, prop firm management, prop firm strategies. So, and it's going to be 2 full days. And there's going to be a couple of keynotes. I'm going to be one of the speakers. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about the VWAP Wave System. I can't tell you who the speakers are because they're not like confirmed, even though they have given a tentative yes. I've seen the confirmations. They both kind of left themselves a little out just in case. I'll give you a couple of hints. on who the keynote speakers may be. Yeah, the networking is really for Sonny. Come on. Godfather of the VWAP may be there. And I hope his VWAP is a masculine VWAP. I made him an offer he can't refuse. Actually, Austin made him an offer he can't refuse. The other keynote, he's a multi-million-dollar trader. And he's well known for having a very popular trade journaling software. I'm not confirming any names. You can take your guesses. Again, I am not confirming or denying anything. To be honest, guys, I would speculate that these people would only want to come to this conference because they love trading. I think the financial benefits to them are absolutely minimal at this point. And I think it's just they love trading and they just want to be a part of it. The community. He is a character, Sonny. Quite the character. Back down we go. Let's see, we're probably going to test this area again.
Says most of those trade talks with the US are going very well.
Trade talks with Mexico going very well. The fear and greed index is at extreme fear. Who would have thought? Extreme fear. Does that mean we should be buying? I don't think you're the only one with that idea, Ray. That's the only problem. You should go. So we have Palm Beach Island by here. And, you know, where Trump lives and all this old money. And it's really nice. You go over there for dinner and stuff. And you get these. You can imagine what the bar scene is like on Palm Beach Island. It makes for some of the best people watching because these people have more money than you could possibly imagine. And trying to figure out their stories and just who they show up with. And then, of course, all the women that are there trying to find a Palm Beach Island guy at the bar. It's quite entertaining. Well, I don't drink either, Byron. I don't usually spend much time in bars, but a lot of the restaurants have bars. So that's where I'm there to eat, and I observe the barflies from my dinner table. All right, we're kind of diving into our zone here. We might want to give this a little more space beyond VWAP because rotation says we might have a little more downside from here. So let's try and be a little patient. maybe down to 18. All right, that could have been the bounce. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I think we got some VWAP buyers there, but I don't think there's going to be enough. We'll see. Not convinced yet. I'm in Florida, Gareth. South Florida. Good. Good, Andy. Challenge that bias. You'll find opportunities in either direction. 10 minutes is more than enough time to catch a scalp in either direction. Either direction. So far, the buyers have not been all that convincing. We'll see. Anybody take that VWAP bounce? Oh, now it's beautiful. So it's not as humid. It's like low 70s, dry, gorgeous right now. The summer is where you don't want to be in Florida. It's hot and humid and rainy. But interestingly enough, summertime for most Floridians is boat season. Spend most of your time out on the water. Ooh, I bet that was warm. All right, we do have a bit of a bounce. Not all that attractive on the delta quite yet, but that can change. Yeah, I mean, it's windier, it's cooler, it's a lot nicer on the water. Especially the ocean, very breezy. We're going to be in Tampa, JP. That's where we're going to have our Drysdale meeting. Tampa, May 14th and 15th. We're going to have a private dinner for everybody in the community. So just us, we can get together. Danny, that was a majorly delayed response. That was like 10 minutes ago. We were talking about that. Oh, gotcha. Wow, that was seriously delayed. That was like major lag. That was like at least 5 minutes ago, I would imagine. That was a long time ago. Nice, Joe. Cool. All right, are we gonna crack this time? I wasn't convinced of that bounce. I told you guys, not convinced. Let's see if we can get a little low. I still like this as a buy zone, but I want lower. I don't know if I like that Madonna location, Jake. Oh, wait, it's at a weekly lower band, is it? No, yeah. I don't like how IB is below weekly lower band. So if we crack weekly lower band, that higher time frame could flush right through that initial balance. Well, of course it's going to be the edge of the distribution because it's the IB low. It's the low of the session. It's almost always going to be the edge. But we have higher time frame levels at work, not just the intraday. We'll see. It could work. I'm not saying it's not going to work. I'm just saying I don't like it. We'll see. I would probably get in a little earlier. I'd probably get in around 700s, low 700s. Yeah, that's a higher time frame level. Now, higher time frame levels can also be a little sloppy. So they don't always play off to the tick. All right, here it goes. It could do that. So your best bet is to scale in as we approach this area, and hopefully we get the bounce. And if it doesn't, it keeps going, you got to hit the oh shit button. All right, we're getting close now. $660. Yeah, I see it. 665. So let's say that's our new buy zone. The delta's having another divergence here. I might pick up a long. Might be a little early, we'll see. Delta's not agreeing with this sell-off at this point. VIX is kicking up. Wow, would you look? Come on. Buyer's getting busy here. Yes, sir. Come on. Keep it going. Ah, they're fighting. That might be it for the buyers. No, they're not giving up yet. Let's see. They're fighting. All right, here we go. Weekly lower band. Come on now. Stop at break even. Long at 702. 20 points right here. Yeah. $30 points. $40 points. That was a 40-point long from weekly lower band to monthly upper band. Just if you guys watched the stream last night, same exact trade was playing out. Same exact. Not a bad trade at all, guys. 50-point bounce from weekly lower band. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure trading with you this week. I appreciate all the support. We'll be back at it next week, bright and early on Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for premium members. We'll be on YouTube at 10 a.m. with the delayed stream. We have Q&A, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. You can join that with a free trial. And next Wednesday, I'll be on Prop Firm Match TV. We had a great day. A lot of great calls trading today. Great week overall. I hope you traded well today. Traded well this week. If not, get your head right. Do your journaling this week. What are we going to do differently next week? Find out your strengths, your weaknesses, and come into Monday with a plan and try to stick to it. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Happy Friday, and I'll see everybody next week. If you need anything over the weekend, as per usual, tag me in the Discord, and I'll try to help you out.